Yo, what's good, man? Welcome back to East Child Podcast, which one and only host, Glory Boy, back here with our next special guest in the building. You've seen her before, you know her in Buffalo. Basically, with this special guest that we have here today, she have been doing an amazing thing for so many years. She have been an entrepreneur. She's a mother. She's a Buffalo native. Buffalo native. That's crazy. And also, one of the most important things is that she's doing something that we're going to be talking about today, which she had been working on for a very long time, and finally it's coming to light. Once again, if it's your first time here, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't done so and you've been watching this show, please go ahead and do so because it's going to help us grow and it's going to help me to keep bringing these amazing guests on the show. Once again, let's go ahead and introduce our guests. And how are you today? Sorry, I know you're louder than that.
I am great.
Yeah.
Great and highly favored. Wow.
How you been though? Like it's been a
I'm
minute.
great. I really am great. A lot of great things have been happening behind the scenes. I've been quiet, working.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not you. Yeah, nothing have been happening behind the scene, honestly, because I've been seeing you all over Buffalo, on like different posts, a lot of different events, and even on TikTok, you've been killing it.
Yeah, I
you
like
know?
TikTok.
Yeah,
TikTok is a strategy behind that.
Yeah, most definitely. Yes. So, Starr, one thing I want to talk to you about today. I mean, we're not just gonna jump straight into the school, but we're gonna go back to when you started your entrepreneur journey, as a young, black woman, just starting doing your business. Like, take us back. How did everything start up for you? Like, how did you come up with the idea of saying, you know what, I want to focus on working for myself now and just see how that goes?
Well, it's not as common as most entrepreneurs, I feel like. I was 17 years old. I had a daughter. I had dropped out of school. The highest grade I completed was 7th grade. And I just did not know what I was going to do with this child of mine. And so a friend of mine has started a clothing store. And I remember him saying, start your own business. I don't know about that. But then I had an idea to create a delivery service for diapers. So it ended up being the first delivery service in the United States of America for baby products. So I delivered diapers, formula, baby food. I accepted food stamps. I teamed up with the government where I could accept it like credit cards. So that was my first journey in entrepreneurship. But I always say entrepreneurs are born, not made. You can make a boss, but you can't make an entrepreneur. And I feel like it's been in me since I've been selling candy.
How do you, like, because a lot of times, when, if you could just push your mic a little closer. So a lot of times, when you're young, you say you had your child at a young age 17. How did that affect your, just your teenagerhood? Like, how did that affect you in any type of way?
Well, I really didn't have a childhood or a teenagehood because I was taking care of kids since I've been 9 years old. Well, actually, even younger than that, maybe about 7, my mother would go on drug binges and leave me with my younger brothers and sisters. So I would always go and feed us, go to the store and steal food. So I only knew taking care of people. So when I got pregnant, my daughter's father was 15 and I was 17. And it was just motherhood became just like second nature to me because it's something I was already doing. But my daughter did put me on the right track because I was bad. I used to fight a lot. I used to carry blades in my mouth. You would say something to me wrong and I would just punch you in the face.
That's crazy. Did you ever feel like you missed out on anything though?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
When I see my kids and the way their life is, sleepovers and dances and college, and it's good to see because I don't even know what none of that looks like. I can't even relate to their experiences. I could just provide it.
Oh man, because I can tell. Because I've had a lot of different people on the podcast too, especially like a lot of individuals that had to have kids at such a young age, and they've always said like the same thing. Like, man, like I used to just tell my friends I can't even do a girls trip,
Right.
because I had to take care of my kid.
Right.
You
A
know,
100%.
yeah. What are some of the most sacrifices that you kind of you recall doing yourself in order to make sure that your child was good at age 17 or 18, 19 as you was growing up?
I remember one time I fell into a deep depression and I wanted to sit in, it was hard for me to get out of the bed. And I ended up leaving my daughter with her father for a couple of weeks. And I remember hearing her voice saying, "Mommy, when you coming home?" I was like 20, 21. And that was such a, that to pull myself out of that bed and literally, felt like I was crawling through life to get back to her. That was a huge, huge, huge sacrifice.
Mm,
But she doesn't even realize how much she did for me.
mm. I mean, also you mentioned our father. Like how? I mean, how did he help you in any type of way?
Oh,
Because
such a good father.
because a lot of people nowadays tend to have kids with just with anyone, and some people just abandon their kids. They don't want to be there for them because it's
Yeah.
hard. It's a commitment. It's a lifetime commitment to raise a child. Uh,
Such a good dad.
right.
When I mean he was Chef Kiss, such a good father, and he still is such a good father. And it's interesting because I had my youngest with my ex husband, and he's involved with her life, but the 15-year-old was a better dad than me being married and an adult,
Mm,
like you doing it the right way. So it's very interesting how I doing it the wrong way, my daughter, and she came out amazing. The right way, you know, my daughter is amazing as well, but the experience was not as good. So you just
mm.
not it's not good to judge people.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, of course. So I wanna, so let's that was just a little icebreaker, but I wanna jump straight into like just the business world itself. So take us back to when you started your first hair business, because your hair business went on for a very long time, very successful run.
I still do
And
it.
you did, yeah, you're still doing it too, and you had to bring it from, you used to live in Rochester as well,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
then you brought it to Buffalo, and you partnered up with different stores and continue selling hair in those stores. How did that start for you? Like just the hair business itself? Because nowadays, a lot of young women, they're starting to get involved in that type of business, but they just don't know how to start.
Well, I started with the experience with business. So my starting was different than a lot of new entrepreneurs that's trying to sell hair. I already had a successful business when I came into Buffalo, but I stopped it because I got married.
Mm,
So I had business skills that I was able to tap into. The hair business came about because I read a book by Tim Forrest called The 4 Hour Work Week that had a formula inside of it that showed you how to generate income within 30 days in a new business. And I followed that formula that led me to hair. That's
mm,
how I got into hair because it was the least path of resistance. Now I learned that none of the hair in the beauty supply stores was real. So that piqued my interest. And I see how much money was involved. So I made up an Instagram page. I didn't have any hair. In the first 48 hours, I sold over $1,500 of a product I didn't even have.
wow.
I said, oh, this will work.
You didn't have it.
Mm-mm.
How did you manage to,
I just was
give?
showing my hair, like, because I'm always trying to be cute. So I'm like, okay, I got some hair.
But how did your consumers, react to it if you didn't have it? Did you?
I shipped it to
Oh,
them.
you still
Right. But you don't
okay?
have to think of like pre order.
Gotcha.
The smartest way to introduce a new product into the market anyway is to make sure there's demand for it first.
Mm,
So that's what I did. I made sure there was a strong demand for it. I filled the orders, of course. However, um, I definitely made sure that I was going to get to the bag first before I put any of my time, energy, and effort into it. And, a little quick fact, I've been selling hair for over 12 years. There's not one bad review about my hair online.
wow, that's good. That's good. I mean, how about your vendors? Like, how did you manage to develop that trust? Like you said, first you had to do those pre-orders, but also you have to understand, okay, I have vendors that I have to trust, because if I manage to get too many pre-orders and they're not able to, you know,
Feel it.
to fill it, how can I satisfy my customers? But like, how did you manage to develop that trust amongst your,
Vendors.
your vendors that you had to
The
use?
first hair that I got came with a bag of lice inside of it.
Lice,
Lice, Lice,
like
lice, the
like
bugs.
like.
And so I was pissed off, but I also was intrigued because lice only stick to real hair. That's one.
Mm,
So I knew if they can send it to me without the lice, then I got gray hair. So what I did was, and I taught people how to do this online 12 years ago. I'm the first one to teach people how to do this. I had them walk me around their factory. I met their employees. I would
mm,
FaceTime the employees. Um, and I met the owner of the factories. And I ended up becoming partner. Eventually ended up buying in and becoming partner, which ended up leading me into starting my own sourcing boutique in the Philippines
mm.
because I wanted to cut out the middle person.
Did you ever go to the
Nope. I
Philippines
did
too?
all this from the sofa
Even till today, you've
to this
never.
day, to the sofa.
Wow, that's
There's
that's incredible.
They're in the Philippines. They wear my shirts for
Okay.
only raw hair. There's like banners there and taxis in the Philippines. There's my advertisement.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. I mean, doing everything here. Did you have anyone back in the Philippines that that had to manage all those things for
Yes,
you?
I
Okay,
trained them. I
that's
have a
amazing.
manager. Yes.
Okay.
So I had to train them how to run the business.
Mm,
But what I learned, because I've been a business consultant for over 13 years, as long as someone can follow directions, you can train them on how to start, run, and grow a business.
right. Yeah, that's incredible. And then so as you were growing here in the United States, and just continuing to get your name out there, what are some marketing ways, like, or marketing tactics that you used besides using social media to, to develop a huge clientele?
I learned being authentic
Mm,
is currency. Being authentic is currency that a lot of people have not tapped into. And building relationships, key relationships. So when you say you'll see me in Buffalo,
right.
I have key relationships with people. I am My circle is my circle for a reason. And I've learned that cuts out a lot of bullshit when you are tapped in with the right people at the right time. But you need to genuinely tap in with people, and people can feel when you're genuine, even on camera, even when you're marketing. Nobody wants to be sold to. People don't want to be sold to. They want to learn and make their own decisions. That is a marketing. That's a marketing skill.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. Authenticity is key.
Key. And a
You
lot of
know.
people. That's why when people go from Instagram to TikTok, they don't do well.
Most definitely. I want to ask you this though, because throughout business, we all tend to face different obstacles. Like there's times when you feel like giving up.
Mm.
There's times when you feel like, man, like, is this the only thing that I have to do? Like, should I just put all my eggs in one basket, or should I kind of like, look around and see what else is there for me? Um, Besides that, the other question, but like, let's look at obstacles. Like, how did you manage to face any obstacles in terms of like feeling like giving up because let's say one day you didn't make a sale that you wanted to make?
Hmm.
How did you handle that situation?
You get disappointed, but you know what I learned? I learned I'm my best bet.
Hmm.
Betting on myself is the best bet I'll always make. A lot of people will bet on something else. Like I was telling a student of mine, they were worried about, starting their business. I said, but you don't worry about going to work every day. You should be worried about that. That boss doesn't know you. They don't know nothing about you, don't care anything about you. And if you die tomorrow, they're going to put your position up for somebody to take it. That should be scary. That is that's harder for me I never once thought I never want to be an entrepreneur. It never. That's why I said entrepreneurs are born. You can't make them. This is a very scary position to be in if you don't bet on yourself and you don't believe in yourself. But if you believe in yourself, it's not scary because you know you're gonna give it 100%. But 100% doesn't look the same every day. My 100% could be 5 minutes working on my business today because I got something going on with the kids or I don't feel well.
Right.
And then my 100% could be 5 hours tomorrow. That's something you have to come to terms with as well. Success does not look the same for everyone. Someone told me, they said, this is just happening. Your success happened so quick. 22 years? That's not quick. That's, but you see only this. People only see the end result. And that's why what I want to do is be as authentic with this journey as possible.
Right.
Because people really need to know what this really looks like.
That's true. I mean, talking about you can be replaced in a workplace in a second. Give us some of your examples. I mean, you've worked a 9 to 5 before.
Mm-hmm.
How were some of your experiences like? Like, how did you handle yourself in those positions, and how were your supervisors or managers treating you in any type of way?
You know what is interesting? The last 9 to 5 I worked, a friend of mine got like $10 million of investment to start a company in Buffalo, and they wanted me to build out this department for them. I built out the department, but I was the only Black person in the company. Only one other woman was in this company, me and this other girl. And me and the girl would not get along because she was intimidated by me. And what I learned was people want you to be dumb so they can look superior. And I'm not good at being the employee for a dumb employer, if that makes sense. A lot of people work for people they're way smarter than. And it makes their job harder, it makes life harder because the person who is over you, you're smarter than, they make your life miserable. They want to micromanage you. They want to lie. They want to manipulate. Corporate is one of the most dangerous places I feel like you could ever be. It's full of narcissism. It's full of manipulation. That is scary to me. I don't do well in those situations because I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I remember I told the girl, she ended up being over me, my director. I told her, you can't teach me anything. All you can teach me how to do is lie and manipulate. She said, excuse me? I said, let me say it again. You can only teach me how to lie and manipulate. You can't be in nobody's job saying stuff like that. This is why I'm not good at being.
No, I mean, that's true. And in most places, that's why a lot of people tend to keep their mouth closed because they're afraid, because they don't have a backup plan. Like for you, you knew exactly what you wanted in life. A lot of people, they probably just have the 9 to 5 and they don't have the entrepreneurial mindset because, like you said, being an entrepreneur is not, you have to be born to be one. You can't just be, So if you have the fear of speaking up and, saying anything at a workplace, it's because you're afraid, because that's the only thing that's helping you.
But you know what? We need workers and we need employers, right? The problem is when God puts it in your heart that you need to create your product, you need to create your service, you need to create whatever it is so that way you can be your own boss, you're meant to do that because God would not have put it in your heart for you to do that.
Yeah.
And people say they trust God, but their actions show that they don't trust God.
They want quick results.
Because social media has lied and let entrepreneur be portrayed as something that's instant gratification. You only see the end results with things. That's it.
That's true. Me and my brother sometimes, in some months, we'll be like, bro, like we only had like 10 clients, but how can we invest in trying to do something else for the next couple months. Sometimes we only had within like 5 months we only had like 2 wedding clients, and we're like, man, like, and it's you still just have to keep going.
You know what's so crazy? This time last year, I'm gonna be honest, I was so messed up financially. And I was not afraid to say it. I was not. And now this time, this now I'm averaging a minimum of $1,500 a day.
It's amazing.
Minimum with a 90% profit.
Proud of you.
Minimum. But I knew I knew I was gonna bet on myself. People was like, and I know people said that they believed me, but I knew they really didn't believe in my vision. But I'm like, no, this is going to work. What I'm doing is going to work. Everybody's so focused on the hair. I'm like, nah, the hair is cool, but I know what it's like to wake up to a bag and not put any more work into it.
That's it. You're allowing the money to work for you now.
Work for me.
That's it. So, Starr, the reason why we're sitting here today, I mean, is just to have this conversation. But the most important thing is that you're doing something amazing, which you're educating so many other people to grow and become their own bosses. There's this. I've been on some of your
On TikTok.
live TikTok shows where you're speaking to people, teaching them, and you
I
have people
blocked
that
you.
you've actually. No, you didn't block me.
Oh, I thought
Why
I blocked
would you
everybody.
block me?
I blocked everybody I knew.
But why would you block me?
Because I get nervous when people come in that I know. I
I-
have hundreds of people in the lives, and then I see one person I know, I be like,
I ain't do nothing to you, but but most importantly is that you've actually managed to also even develop relationships with some of those people that watch you on a daily basis, and that's the most important thing. I mean, you said that, like, if you're gonna be a business owner, if you're gonna be an entrepreneur itself, you have to just be able to build that relationship, be transparent with people, and so on. And you've done that. And I'm gonna say I'm proud of you for what you have started. So we're just gonna dive in straight into the school itself. So take us through some of the phases, some of the things that you've done so far in building the school that you have started.
So it's actually a piggyback off of what I did in 2017 and 2018. So I was teaching women how to start run and grow hair companies, but I've always done it, but with all the tools and resources, I'm able to do it much easier, faster, and with execution because of all the resources that you guys have now. Um, the school it's called the Complete Launch System. And for the last 13 years, I've been teaching people how to market, how to brand, how to find their niches, how to stand out in any industry. And how it ended up now, because I went on TikTok and I seen girls making 10,000 alive. I was doing the math. And I bought one of their products. And there was this product, it starts with a R. And I bought friend of mine, Courtney, was like, I bought this course or whatever, and then you can sell it and et cetera. And I went into it and was pissed off. I was so pissed off that people were buying it because there was really no substance in it. And I said, people are being bamboozled. Eventually, there's going to be, I swear to God, it's going to be like some American Greed episode or something. Because you can only make money off of these things if you resell it. That's not a good product. You should be able to make money off of what the information is inside. And reselling it should be a bonus.
So you're buying something, and then the only way for you to profit
is if you resell
if you
it.
resell it to
But you're
somebody else.
supposed to be able to learn how to be an entrepreneur inside of it. But all the information is Googleable. So I said, I'm going to create my own school again because I was already doing it.
Right.
But I'm going to create my own school. And it took me May, June, July, August, September, every day, 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day. I worked on it and created it from scratch. My daughter was in the hospital she went in the hospital dealing with that, dealing with a lot of personal problems while I was trying to build out the school.
Right.
But when I tell you I put my head down, I launched it, I didn't even launch it publicly. I launched it privately at the end of September. Now, the beginning of February, I had 100 students.
Wow.
To enroll is a minimum of $550, all the way up to $3,500. But the lives that I have changed has let me know, like, I'm supposed to be doing this. Sometimes I give my students homework to go get a therapist. Sometimes I give them their homework to take a love bath, self-care, while they're building out their digital product. I've helped hundreds of people create brick and mortar businesses, online businesses, but digital products was the one thing that when I was surviving my domestic violence
Right.
from with my ex-husband, I still had money coming in. And I want that for everyone that wants it. And that's how we're here.
Most definitely. This is gonna be a crazy question to ask, but do you believe in God?
Yes, I believe in God,
Mm.
but I don't believe in God the way everyone else believes in God. I
Okay.
believe that God is inside of all of us.
Okay.
I believe that God is not as petty as people try to portray him to be.
Right.
Meaning, you're telling me that I could go and, hurt someone and then ask for forgiveness, but then a little old lady who feeds the homeless doesn't believe in God, she going to hell? That sounds very petty to me. That sounds very man to me. You get what I'm saying?
Very what?
Man,
Oh,
like
yeah.
human, like a man. Like, you know how men try to control, like, not man like manly. I'm saying like
Okay.
human.
Okay.
Yeah, not saying like men. No, I'm saying like that sounds like very man-made.
Okay.
A man-made concept.
Gotcha.
Yes, but I
Yeah.
believe God is in everything, everyone.
Okay. The reason why I asked that question is because do you think God have played a huge role into the
Huge,
success that you've
huge,
managed to encounter?
huge, huge.
Okay.
Because when I had the idea that people call it the Holy Ghost, the Spirit, whatever you want to call it, that came from inside of me.
Mm.
That God put in me. I execute.
Okay.
Most people don't. They just have ideas and they think about it, think about it, think about it. Then they wake up, go on social media, and somebody done selling their idea. They were supposed to have that idea.
That's it.
If they trusted God, they would have executed. But people say, I don't have money to invest. You have money. You know how you know you have money? Because there's always a concert that somebody is promoting. There's always a phone that somebody is putting out. If you didn't have money, they wouldn't invest in these things.
Mm. That's true. And also like when it comes to like the people that you surround yourself with, like how would you define your circle?
Small,
Okay.
very tiny. My
And
kids are my best friends.
what are the things that you guys talk about in terms of like let's talk about like the circle that discusses business with you. How do how do your conversations tend to go?
I learn not to separate business and personal.
Mm.
That's one. Because the way you act personally is the way you act in business. If you cheat on your husband or your girlfriend, you're going to cheat me out of money.
Mm.
And so I don't separate business and personal. My business circle is my personal circle, right? We have Mia here. Me and Mia are doing business together, but I'm considering her as a friend. I don't want to work with anyone that I don't think is a friend. That's what I learned 22 years of entrepreneurship. My circle, I'm much better at high level thinkers. So I'm friends with a lot of CEOs, a lot of executives, celebrities. That's another reason why I don't post a lot. My circle doesn't want to be every time we together, you got a picture.
Mm.
Who wants that? We already have fans. We already have people wanting to know about us. My circle I like my circle.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, because I wanted to ask that question because a lot of people tend to just think having a big circle means success, but you could have a small circle and still be good, and
Way better.
and still even be way better. It brings even more peace of mind because you understand. Okay, this circle that I don't just have them to be around me, but I have them because we have a healthy relationship besides just business relationship.
You know what I've learned too to watch out for? Social climbers.
Okay.
That's a huge one. And that's somebody who, wants to be around you one time or two times to collect information, just see what you got going on, and then you don't talk to them anymore.
I had to actually cut somebody off
I
this year. At the beginning of this year, it was, this dude. He've always been very cheering. Like, oh, Glory Boy, man, I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you, bro. Can I come to the studio, bro? Can you teach me how to take this picture? Can you, And me, I'm a person that I like to teach people, but I'm very also I'm so much invested in my energy because the moment I feel like all you want is just to take, and there's nothing to give, then that's a red flag for me. So I literally had to cut him off. I had to tell him like, yo, bro. I asked him this question. I'm like, why every time you hit me up is because you want something from me? He said, nah, bro, it's not like that, bro. I was busy, I can still hit you up. You my brother. I'm like, you're doing too much, bro. But matter of fact, I'm gonna have a workshop, so you just pull up, sign up for the workshop, and then he never came to the workshop, and that was one of the things. I'm like, if you want to learn, come to the workshop. He never came. He texted me after like 2 days. He said, yo, bro, I'm sorry, I forgot there was a workshop. I'm like, you see, that means you just want to be around me for your own benefit.
see.
And I had to cancel him. I told him like, yo, we can't be friends no more. We can't even communicate. Even my woman told me not to talk to him.
To me, I consider him a user.
A user.
A user.
Yeah.
And so in a user and a social climber, they the same. They just use differently. That's why, like right now, I'm not into posting, and I'm about to create. I will be posting a lot more because of the things that I'll be introducing. But in this season of me not posting, I'm watching how certain people are interacting with me. Maybe if I text them, they don't text me back because they feel like I'm not doing nothing now. So, and I'm watching this in real time. I'm watching this because last year when I was out and about, right? And I was messed up financially, but I'm out and about, I'm on posting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You're like, oh, you want to come here? You want to do this or whatever? Want to have lunch? Now I'm fucking killing the game, monetarily wise, financially, but I'm quiet about it. No one knows.
Right.
And if I say text or etc. and you don't reply back, I know you're a social climber.
That's it.
You're a social climber.
Yeah, and you don't got time for that.
I don't got time for it.
So Starr.
So don't message me again.
Yeah. No time for that. No time for that. So tell us about the future of your school. How do you see your school in the next couple of years? How do you see it going?
I can tell you by the end of the year, I'll have at least 1,000 students.
Amen.
1,000 minimum. And though girls want to, I've done this before. They want to come in. They want me to have personal seminars because they want to meet me. They want to meet. It's very humbling when you meet someone through a Zoom and they cry because you changed their life. Hi, I'm human. I had a burp.
Nah, he ain't come out.
But it's a very humbling experience. And I'm
Right.
learning that I have people that consider themselves like fans, which is interesting. I'm changing lives. The school is the school is already worldwide because I have students all over the world. But I just see it branching out. It's under Starr University. So the complete launch system is under Starr University. Starr University has been alive and kicking for 10 years. But I've done it privately. But the school is going to expand in many different ways. Wellness seminars, mental health, etc. All the things that affect you as an entrepreneur.
Wow. What's the enrollment process for the students? Because for the ones that may be watching this and saying, you know what, I want to check it out. I want to see how the school is like. What's the enrollment process like?
Well, they can go to starruniversity.com.
Okay.
And just go through and sign up. There is an enrollment fee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's self-paced. The school teaches you how to start, run, and grow your digital product. So if you have a digital product already that you've been trying to get out, you'll be able to see what's not working with it. If you have an idea, you'll be able to execute the idea. If you don't know if you want to do it, but you want to see how to go about doing it, this is perfect. You can have your product created and sold in 48 hours. Or
Wow.
you could take 48 months. It's up to you. But with my students, what makes me different is step by step, is video instructions because I got ADHD and I got dyslexia. So a lot of my students are overthinkers. So I make everything easy, but I also work with them. They don't
Okay.
just sign up and that's it. I work with them one on one.
And that's what people want. It's not just a product that you're selling, or like you said, where people will have to go through the steps of learning how to be entrepreneurs. And then the only way for them to profit is if they're able to sell that product to somebody else. So I'm really proud of you, Star. So with all my guests, one of the questions that I always ask them, because I mean, you've been in the business industry for a very long time, but what message do you have for the young men and women who are starting to learn, or who are, you know, born to be entrepreneurs, but they haven't really caught upon that trait yet? But like, what message do you have for them uh, that could help them, move forward and just to never give up?
You have to bet on yourself and stop betting on other people. You go to work every day, you're betting on someone else's dream. That's why their kids end up being your bosses. You have to bet on yourself. And what that looks like is when you say you don't have enough money, you go find it. You go and you make it happen because you are your best bet.
You are your best bet. Star, thank you so much. Like I always say, I'm always happy to have you on the show. I mean, the last couple episodes that we didn't go pretty well just because of the audio issue, but
I'm
here
proud
we
of
are.
you, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm
appreciate it.
super proud of you. I
Yeah.
really am. You're doing a great job. I love your space now.
Like,
I
yeah.
love the building that you're in. You're around a lot of high level entrepreneurs as well. And it's just gonna, that energy is gonna keep feeding.
Yeah,
I love the books. I've read all those books.
most definitely.
Yes.
So far,
That one
I'm
changed my
finishing up
life.
Atomic Habits.
Rich Dad Poor Dad changed my life.
Change your life, yeah.
Changed my life.
I haven't finished this because I want to read this and this at the same time.
That's when I started. Well, you need to finish it.
Yeah.
That's when I start. That's when I started investing in silver.
Wow, it's amazing. Well, yeah, and big shout out to my brother too, because he's the one that inspired me to get in the game of just media production and so much more. So
And
yeah,
thank you, Mia, for being here and helping
yeah,
me
thank
get
you,
my
Mia.
stuff together, Mia.
Most definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in here, East Sip and Chop Podcast. Yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in here, East Sip and Chop Podcast, man. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please go ahead. And please go ahead and check out starruniversity.com. It's going to change your life drastically if it's your first time, just trying to learn about business and so on. This is the person to be with.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Starr is 2 R's.
Yeah.
STARR University.
Most
TikTok,
definitely.
Starr University _ Make sure you're following my account. It's over 22,000 followers. That's how you know you got the right one.
Most definitely. Thank you. And till next time. Peace.